Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. I thought I'd do a quick update on Jamie. I'm going to put this one public on YouTube, and then after it's up for a while, I'll take it down and put it over at patreon.com. Had a large crowd over at the Homestead for the last week. Had a great time. Got to share the Homestead with so many people, and was really a fun time overall. Jamie wasn't up to visiting a lot of people. Just because of the way she was feeling. However, in the last few days, we've seen an uptick in energy, and maybe the jury's still out on the growth of her tumors. She has about 13 tumors now, and it's just, I know it doesn't look very good, but I'm actually really happy that her energy has increased in the last few days, and she's it's good. I'm happy about that. We're just taking it one day at a time, folks. Just a couple things of note, just dealing with the bureaucracy of the medical companies, trying to get her formula. It's been almost a month dealing with this company, trying to get her formula delivered. It's just mind-boggling, the healthcare industry in this company. It's so hard to get through and ridiculous. And so I've had to actually resort to buying her formula or making it on our own until we actually get this organic formula that I've ordered, or hopefully supposed to be delivered, approved by insurance again. It's just ridiculous. The whole thing is a mess. What else? I've always appreciated the work my wife has done, and caring for our children. It's part of the delegation of duties that I give to her as the head of the household. And some of you, I know, sometimes in our Disney culture we have a huge problem with that, but that's just the reality of how we run our home. And she is the manager of our home, and I put her in that place. I mean, that's where her duties are, and she manages our home very effectively. She is an excellent manager of our home, and she takes care of the children well. She takes care of what foods we have, and how everything operates. And with her being basically in bed most of the time now, all those duties fall on me. I experienced for the first time in my life dishpan hands. Dishpan hands. I didn't know what that was, but I have learned this week what that is. And it's when your hands begin to crack and to dry from all of the dishwashing. We do all of our dishwashing by hand here. And she has always normally done that. She has never had a problem. She has never wanted a dishwasher. She has never had an issue with washing everything by hand. Well, that duty is now fallen to me. And for the most part, we try to use disposable stuff right now because just of all the things that entails. But it's just so much easier to use mason jars on so many things that we do here. And I like mason jars. It's tempered glass, so you can heat it, you can cool it. You don't have to worry about using that with temperatures of liquids and stuff like that. So I really like, you can put a cap on it really easy and shake stuff up when you want to mix things. It's just so easy. And so I'm washing all those and washing dishes, and I have experienced dishpan hands. It's not fun. On my hands, I have cracks on all my hands, and some of them are recovering. I'm using a specific aloe called Stockton 1. It's really one of the most effective medicinal aloes out there. Stockton Aloe 1 or something like that. Stockton variety of aloe. And so that really helped. But for a week, my hands were really getting bad. It took about a week to recover from those. But also just doing laundry and dealing with all that, going to town. Normally, Jamie would give me a list of things to get at the store, but she would obviously have to go through and because she manages the kitchen and all that that entails, she would tell me, okay, we need this, we need that, and she'd make a list, and I just go get it. And so I kind of know where everything is in the grocery store that I need to get. Well, now I'm the one who has to go and do inventory. And I'm not used to that. So I'm doing that as well. Doing inventory. But anyway, again, it's just one day at a time. And I know people are wanting updates. I just wanted to, because I really truly believe in this astaxanthin protocol we're using, and so I'm documenting everything, and I'm taking pictures of her tumors, and I'm seeing them actually get bigger throughout the course of the pictures, because that's really the best way to document something is to take a picture of it, every so often at certain intervals. Ooh, there's a bunch of cows on the road. That happens. Just standing in the middle of the road. I don't know if you can see that in the background or not, but there's cows in the road. Right around the corner, too, they're going to get slammed. Somebody's going to have a hurt vehicle. But, what was I saying? So I've been documenting her tumors with pictures and things like that, because I really believe that if this works, I want people to see, where she was, how all of this looked at a certain time, and then how it all got better. So far, I haven't seen a lot of improvement through the pictures yet, although Jamie thinks that the tumor growth has slowed or stopped. We'll have to wait and see, how that progresses. But I want to be able to show this, and I thought about maybe showing this in a video, like showing the pictures of her, but I'm not going to splice that in later, I don't think. I just don't, because it does look really bad. The tumors look bad on her neck and on her face, and so I don't want to show that. At some point when all of this is behind us, I'll show it, and after we've declared victory in all this. But trying to think what else is going on. They gave us a good amount of pain medicine, so it's going to be a while before we have to go back and get that refilled. That's good. Jamie does not like traveling. I'm going to have to figure out a way, because the roads are so hard on her. But I think they want her to go in. I think legally they want her to go in and get these pain meds, because they're kind of high-end pain medicines. And so they don't want someone just picking them up for her. They want her to physically be there, even though she can't talk anymore. She can't. But the traveling is really hard on her. And so we're going to have to figure out how we're going to do that from here on out. But other than that, she's eating well. I'll go over this, I'm learning. The more I'm learning, I'm learning so much when it comes to cancer and when it comes to different things. People say, avoid sugar, avoid sugar, avoid sugar, avoid sugar. And we have done that from the very beginning. No sugar. For 8 months, no sugar. And it hasn't made a difference. It hasn't made a difference. I mean, the cancer continues to grow. The tumors continue to grow and multiply. And, people who tell you no sugar, I have learned that that's a bunch of nonsense. Because we have done that. We've done the fasting, we've done the Gerson, we've done the enemas. I mean, all of these natural things. No sugar. Didn't make a difference. The tumors still continued to grow and spread. And what I've learned is that cancer cells have about 10 times, or maybe 100 times more sugar receptors than normal cells. So what you're doing by starving your body of sugar is you're starving your normal cells, because normal cells need sugar too. They need glucose, whatever it is that sugar is something your body needs. And a lot of your foods, like grains and things like that, things we've been avoiding, help your healthy cells to continue to grow. Well, if your cancer cell has, say, 100 times more sugar receptors than your normal cells do, let's just say, for instance, here's a cancer cell and it has 100 sugar receptors. And here is your normal cell and it has 10 sugar receptors. And if you starve sugar from your body, what do you think? What cell do you think is hurt more? It's not the cancer cell, because any sugar floating around in your body is going to be taken up by this because it has more receptors. There's more of a chance of this getting the sugar, the cancer cell getting the sugar, because it has more receptors than this, because it only has 10. And so what happens is the healthy cell suffers. I was listening to one of these scientists, who was discussing this. He's like, it's not really helping your body all that much by starving it of sugar. And now that we have gone through this, Jamie having a very aggressive cancer, I've learned that that's really the way it is. I mean, we have had no sugar in her diet, for the most part, up until recently when we started doing ZEAL and we started introducing, some fruit sugars, and started juicing again, with some fruit sugars, But when we first started out, there was no sugars, no fruit sugars, no breads, no carbs, no nothing. It was just veggie juicing, and nothing that could be converted to sugar by her body. And it didn't stop or slow down the cancer at all whatsoever. It just got bigger and bigger. And so now that we're introducing sugars back into her diet, with, whole food products like ZEAL or fruit sugars that we're juicing in the omega juicer that we have, now she's getting some sugars. But at this point, it's about calories. She needs calories. She needs to gain weight, because here's the reality. If this infection that she has that I mentioned in previous videos that she has, where they put that metal plate in her chin, I think there might be a screw infected there. And we're using all kinds of natural antibiotics to deal with that. And so far we're having pretty favorable results. But if an infection continues to grow there and we cannot subdue that infection, she's going to have to undergo another surgery where they redo that plate. And that means she won't be eating again for at least, obviously she can have a feeding tube. But most of the majority of the weight that she lost, they won't be able to give her food during that recovery time, that week-long recovery time after this. It's a very intensive surgery. And so she's going to lose more weight. She can't lose more weight at this point. She's like 122 pounds last time we checked, and she can't lose more weight. So I'm trying to get as many calories into her as possible, and yes, that does include some carbs and sugar calories that to help boost her weight. So right now it seems like I'm hoping that the astaxanthin is helping with the tumor growth, but at the other side we have a worry of infection. We have a worry of infection and how to deal with that. And so, again, one day at a time. One day at a time. We're just getting it done one day at a time. So I'm almost home, and again, we had a great week. Jamie got to see got to spend time with some friends, and that was cool. Some friends who were camping here, and some friends who visited that were really an encouragement to her, and you know who you are, and so thank you for that. I mean, it just meant so much for her to be able to spend some time with you. So it was good, and I think that really uplifted her spirits. So she's kind of just spending a lot of time in bed. She's writing in her journal. I'd like to take that journal one day. I have only read portions of it that she's allowed me to see, but I think I'd like to take that journal one day and turn it into a book that would be an encouragement to other people dealing with cancer. So, but I've told her that, and she doesn't. I don't know what she thinks about that totally yet, but we'll see. All right, guys, I think we'll leave it at that at this point. Also, I want to give a major shout out, and we're going to do another video on this, a major shout out to the Texas Boys YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. The Texas Boys YouTube channel, they are going to donate their GoFundMe. They had a cancer scare at their family. The wife had a growth in her throat, and they went to go check it out, and people thought it was cancer, and so they started doing a GoFundMe account, and they had a couple $1,000s in there, and people wanted to donate, and so, but then they found out that it wasn't cancer, And so they wanted to donate that money, and it was suggested to them by one of our listeners, Weetree Bonsai. Weetree has been just an amazing moderator and just a bastion of encouragement to our family during this whole time. And she suggested that the Texas Boys would donate that GoFundMe to us, because they were looking for someone to give it to, because they didn't have cancer in their family. It wasn't the cancer, it was benign. And so they're going to donate that to us. And so we feel just amazingly grateful for that act of charity. And so they're working on the details of how to do that. And so thank you, Weetree, for that suggestion. And thank you, the Texas Boys. If you have not subscribed to them, they are a pretty entertaining family. And they are trying to do some diet changes, over on their family too. So check out their channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. They're called the Texas Boys. If you Google or just search for in your YouTube the Texas Boys, it'll come up. But go over there, subscribe to their channel, and give them a big, gigantic thank you from an American Homestead, because that money is going to be used to help buy Jamie's formula until we can get this whole thing with the insurance company figured out. Also, it's going to be used to buy the astaxanthin, which is about $130 for each bottle that we use for that. It's kind of expensive, but it's a very good grade, high quality, U.S. made astaxanthin. And so we want to use that and some of our other supplements as well. So anyway, big thank you to the Texas Boys for their generosity, and we'll do another video talking about that too as well, coming on down the road. All right, we'll leave it at that. See you guys next time on the Homestead. Bye.